time around as opposed to starting on the defense, and Team Empire. Obviously the vice versa, and hey! You nailed it! You nailed it, Alex!
Look at you,
You can't even hear me, Alex. I'm yelling. Okay, whatever. You got the blitz, man. Good job. Not a hard one to guess. A Nomad as well in stark contrast coming out from DarkZero as well. You want to be able to roam, especially if you're DarkZero. You play this map very aggressive. You like your maneuverability on the defensive side. Nomad obviously impeding on that progress. Echo banned out by DarkZero. Again, not a big shock. And I imagine this is going to be a Mira. It's an EU team. It's Empire. They don't like Mira. Nailed it. All right.
Look at you.
We're clairvoyant. It's okay.
Look at you, yeah. Especially with that Nomad ban coming out, as you said, it's going to allow you to have the roam presence that you want. Those air jabs so good on this map because there's only a very few amount of paths that you can possibly take, especially when playing downstairs. Where am I going to flank from? Oh, meeting. Okay, cool. We just put an air jab there, and that's about it. Wraps it all up. So this is going to be Map 2. This is going to be Oregon. Again, if you guys are just tuning in with us, Empire took bank 8-7 against DarkZero in an absolute barn burner. So we'll see if it's going to continue on that same path of the teeter-totter, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on these rounds.
We'll see if I put on a purple tie and a purple pocket square and voted for DarkZero and predicted that they will win. See if I did all that for nothing. Or if maybe the support all the way from the caster's booth will help. They came within one round of taking the win on bank. But now they'll head to Oregon. It's a different scene, it's a different environment, it's a whole different playground, and a sandbox of toys await the hands of DarkZero to try and play with, and that's where Nyx will start things off again on the Ashe, and this is where he predominantly plays Ashe. There's not a lot of deviation. On bank, we saw a little bit of alteration for Nyx on his rolls, swapping up some operators, mixing it around, heading into the handbag of toys, but on Oregon, he's pretty hard set. It's Ashe, it's G36, and he's gonna have some fun.
We definitely saw him having some fun the last time, a 4K. As he took over the entire top floor of bank.
Yes.
Absolute insane clip there for Nyx. We'll see if he can do it again. I'm going to guess he's not going to wipe out the entire top floor of Oregon because that would literally be everyone, but he might. I mean, it is Nyx at the end of the day. He does have that skill, and I'm expecting this to be just an absolutely insane round.
Well, you hear the crowd roaring. It's hard to get a beat on where the crowd is landing as far as their favoritism. I don't know where their fan favorite vote really lies. We heard it very clearly in the Norarengo Fnatic game. Norarengo, the fan favorite, and how could they not be? But after they've been eliminated in this game between DarkZero and Empire, it's really hard to tell. I think the crowd is a little favorited towards DarkZero, which is interesting again. It's European soil. It's a North American team against a European team. And yet still it's Empire drawing the ire of the crowd, at least from what we've been able to tell.
Big tower take here for DarkZero. I'm sure you guys saw the sheer amount of holes that were made in the floor of the kids' dorms area for Empire, establishing so many angles downstairs, and you have to be worried about every single one of them because you don't know which one they're going to be possibly playing. Don't want to get punished by that. So we are going to flash that off there for you and show a little face. Hot and Cold, though, going to burn an ADS up in kids' dorms, and he's ready for the run out. He knows that Team Empire loves to be aggressive. Joystick's actually just going to scathe away. No bullets taking any damage from him.
He's going to retreat back in towards kitchen to play these holes, and now heading back out towards dining as he might try and pressure once again towards BC and Hot and Cold. But I imagine DarkZero are going to be well waiting for this, as it seems to be Mint perched out on top of these rooftops, looking in towards that dining door. Nyx trying to reacquire his drone. He's worried about a tower push there. Jarvis should have that locked off, although Jarvis is hopping on a drone right now, so just wary of any contingency plans, and it looks like Joystick has gone all the way down into the showers hallway by Small Tower. We're running out of time here for this DarkZero attack, as there's just about a minute remaining, and this window repel is not going to work if they don't clear out kitchen.
Yeah, Shepard has very easy access to those windows. You know who else has easy access, though? It's Joystick. It's two bodies falling off Repel. Spider-Man not going to work out for him. Scyther will go take a frag, as well as Hot and Cold will go down, and this is not looking good for DarkZero off rip.
There goes Karzak, at least traded out by Nyx, but he's taking a lot of damage in the engagement as well. So now a 2v4 to work out for Jarvis and Nyx will fall as well. Joystick with 3 on the round now, and it's all Jarvis alone in a 1v4, staring down the barrel of a shotgun as he's waiting to jump in through the big window. He's also got pressure. Oh, a beautiful shot there. Almost lands a second one, but narrowly evades. The Nitro Cell comes soaring at his head, breaking in through the bottom right window. It's a 4K for Joystick. The Russian machine on fire to start things off as DarkZero look completely lost.
And Empire, again, loves this aggressive playstyle, and Oregon is a catalyst for that. You can hop out of so many windows and get long lights of sight, or even punish them off of rappel, as we're going to see that from Joystick. They had him the first time that he ran out. A couple of scuff shots from both ends. Nobody makes any contact, but they did not respect that he could do it again. It's Joystick. He's going to do it again and again and again until it works. That time, worked the second time around. It was free as free could get.
I mean, that play right there is what I'm talking about. What's DarkZero thinking? What's Houghton thinking just vaulting into the big window with Diffuser solo? There's no pressure. DarkZero never even remotely attempt to clear out Dining or Kitchen on the bottom push. They don't have meeting control. They don't push through tower into Attic to lock down that flank either. They simply banked on repelling on kids' windows. You gotta have more clearance than that, because those kill holes down below, you're not winning that fight on repel. You just aren't. That angle is too tough to win as an attacker looking down those windows, because your angle to look down, your ability to flick down is not 180 degrees. It gets locked. You can't shoot clear down into those floorboards, especially if they play close to the wall. So I'm at a loss for words of what DarkZero was thinking on that round.
Yeah, 3 people on rappel, and I mean, that's, like we said earlier, is free real estate for Joystick. He's just able to walk out a door and claim a couple kills. They didn't even have a Claymore set up, which is another very surprising thing. Usually you put a Claymore up on the trash cans right there, so if he runs out, he gets immediately blown up, but they didn't even have that down. He was just able to walk out and claim a few bodies for his own liking, and that's going to grant him the first round. Now, big thing here is that DarkZero do not have access to Blitz, which is something that they really, really enjoy using. And actually, very famous clip by Mint is on this map with Blitz. So
that was from the beginning of this season up against Rise Nation. That was fun. That was a fun time. That was a fun clip. You got a hard meeting hold coming out right now for Team Empire. Plenty of reinforcements. You got the Electro Claws from a Kaid, another operator we have not seen much of. We've seen an Elo once, and Karzeka will pull this back out, I imagine, with a Scorpion, as I double-check that. And yeah, he's got a Scorpion. Dan playing the TCSG with an ACOG on top of stage wall, waiting for the push-in from DarkZero from the back tower stairs. And Karzeka, reading this tower take, is now going to pop open the small tower window in towards Big to try and look in towards the top of Big Tower. Aggressive peek, but Nyx almost losing that fight, dangerously close to whiffing every single shot, but will land the finishing blow onto Joystick and escape with 10 HP. Another aggressive peek coming out towards meeting split as Dan will crouch up towards the stage wall as well, which has been popped open momentarily by some Hibana X Kairos from Hot and Cold. The drones will spot out Dan as he tries to retreat to the hallway hatch, but this is a bad spot to be in for the Empire members locked inside of meeting.
Dan has a little bit of fire going on. He can't abandon ship just yet. Mint is actually downstairs waiting for his rotate. They're going to try and put up pressure on Dan, and it's going to work out. Mint with the frag as they're opening up everything right now for DarkZero. Mating control in the hands of DZ, as well as practically everything else. Team Empire has to rotate back downstairs, and they've got the perfect person to break down every castle barricade that was put up by Scyther. It's going to be BC as he's using that Journey's End sledgehammer to pop open literally everything. The Scorpion Evo, though, going to be in the hands of Karzeka this time around. No shotgun, but no life either, as Hot and Cold will have Karzeka meet his maker. It's going to be all left up to Shepard and Scyther. 50 seconds left on the clock, but not too much hope.
Hot and Cold is going to perfectly evade all 3 of those toxic babes as they went out frantically from the hands of Shepard. The plant going down from Hot and Cold, and Scyther can't push back in through his teammate's smoke. Shepard's able to collect the kill onto Hot, but the plant gets down in the meantime. Shots raining in through this soft wall that was left open by Empire in the defense, putting a lot of faith in those castle barricades that were taken care of quite quickly by DarkZero. 2 members of DZ on low HP, but Jarvis on full at the hallway hatch will remove Scyther from play, leaving Shepard now in a 1v4. He's got nothing left to work with other than the SMG-11 and time ticking away against him. Up on top of the boxes, trying to find anyone inside of Red Hall. He's got a drone constantly pestering him. It'll take another one down. There goes Mint, and this drone finally dispatched of from Shepard. He's on 25 HP, laying prone inside of the box. Will be BC, and we equalize once again. We're going to go back and forth all the way home. It's DarkZero now tying things up at 1-1.
You have Jarvis all the way up on hallway hatch. You have Nyx in construction on Ash, running a drone around the feet of Shepard, and he cannot touch it. For a solid 20 seconds, could not get that drone annihilated. And I mean, really, everyone just had to lie in wait. Don't overpeak. Do not try and give him those 1v1 battles. It's a lot of things that to this day, this game is almost 4 years old. To this day, people still mess that up on post plant. Do not peek, especially when you have the information. He's got to defuse the bomb.
That was the thing there as well. It's not so much the drone, it's the intel that it acquires. So DarkZero know constantly with Nyx relaying that info that he's not moving anywhere. He's stuck in that box. He's got nowhere to go. So they know which angles to hold to make sure he can't push out. And the second thing is, it was a constant nuisance. It was just another thing to piss off Shepard in that situation. You're already under the gun. You are under immense pressure in a 1v4. He gets that first kill, and that gives you a little bit of momentum. The last thing you want is this tiny little drone buzzing around your feet, constantly pinging you, constantly spotting you, constantly relaying your location. That's just, it's so demoralizing at that point, especially when you can't hit it, because you feel like you got that first kill, you're on a bit of a roll here. If you can build up some steam, you can do this, and that sucks all the life out of you. So we equalize at a 1-1. We go back now to, apparently, yes, the basement. We go back downstairs. No alterations as dining room and kitchen and tower defense. They're challenges, we'll say that much.
Let's just not talk about it.
They're challenging.
Yeah. Yeah. This Oregon, traditionally speaking, has 2 very good sites and then 2 not very good sites. And as Flynn so graciously said, it's going to be Big Tower and it's going to be Kitchen. Of those 2, I would say that Tower is the better out of the 2 because Kitchen is an absolute nightmare. So DZ doing things the same way they did last time, starting Big Tower, going to take it cross. Now, the person I want to point out for this is going to be Dan. Because Dan last time, I feel like he didn't abandon ship when he could have. He could have played out his life, and that slug shotgun is so dangerous in the proper hands. And as we've seen from Dan in the last game, he can definitely be those proper hands. But the bad thing is they kind of put him on an island with that castle barricade set up the last time. They don't have it this time around. Whereas last time, if you would have dropped E-Box, you're just dead. You can't run in sight. They have it castle barricaded off. And obviously, you're not going to stand there for a second and a half and rip the door down. But Dan is actually going to claim a kill. One's going to get downed outside by Joystick. I don't believe that he knows that he got him down just yet. He's actually trying to slink off the roof. It's going to be BC. Hot and Cold's already met his demise.
So there goes your hard breacher of your Hibana.
Oh,
what a beautiful
my
shot by Dan on the replay. We return to action with Nyx now still holding these T2 windows, worried about Joystick peeking out the attic, and that was a good adaptation again from Joystick this time. Inside of attic to get more elevation, more control inside of meeting, and this is going to force DarkZero to go for a full rotation. As like you mentioned, the castle barricades aren't there anymore, so there's longer angles to be held, and they work both ways as Mint is stalled out now at the red door and Dan looking down the hatch. They haven't cleared out meeting. This is going to be a nightmare for DarkZero to try and work out of, as Dan with his TCSG is just going to rain hellfire from above onto them.
That shotgun can down anybody or kill anybody with 2 bullets. That's it. You have to touch him twice. Scyther only has to touch Nick once, though, because it's a headshot. Dan will find Mint. Everything's falling apart for the DZ boys as slugs are going to rain down around the feet of BC, but Karzeka will find him. It's all left up to Jarvis on the Thatcher. L85 by his side, but no life left in him. Dan from up tops, again, going to rain hellfire as they're going to claim round number 3.
It's a clean sweep, a 5-0 on the round for Team Empire. The Russian machine never breaking every other round.
Every other round.
Every other round.
They just run out of gas and they refill it. That's it. It doesn't break, it just runs out.
So for DarkZero here, it's been a successful attack to the basement. It's been an unsuccessful attack to the basement. It's also been an unsuccessful attack towards the top floor, which is where we'll return, obviously, as the rotation goes on and on and on, and we spin this carousel. Again, a beautiful shot there by Dan, and the meeting hold this time,
oh my,
much safer. You know, you eliminate Hot and Cold early with that aggressive peek out through that doorway. That's what Dan was trying to do the first time around. He just missed his shot and got shot from down below by Mint. And I'm wondering where that pressure was. Obviously, like I said, the long angles from inside of the site, those castle barricades didn't provide pure safety for Mint. He had to worry about being shot at from the smoke playing downstairs. Still, you got to be able to run past there and start acquiring that pressure from down below, because that was the opening pick that really set things in motion for you last time around as DarkZero, was Mint grabbing that kill onto Dan inside of meeting from the reverse angle downstairs up to the hatch.
I think the biggest thing now, especially with just all the games in general, just as LAN in general, we have that replay system now. It's beautiful. We don't miss a kill anymore. You guys get to see all of those crazy long-angled ACOG shots, crazy flicks, everything. It's fantastic, especially with that last round with Team Empire. So many pixel peaks that just worked out for them.
Yeah, and this round here, the top floor defense once again. Last time, and it's been a heavy tower focus for DarkZero, which isn't out of the norm for them. They typically fall back on tower takes more often than a front take. However, the tower take for them has gotten them tower, but nothing else. They haven't extended out of tower. Even when that round they won attacking to the basement, they never actually held meeting. They pseudo-held it by just killing everyone that tried to retreat out of meeting, but at that point, they didn't even stick a man upstairs on the hatch until the end of the round where Jarvis rotated up after Plant was down. So for the majority of these rounds here, DarkZero have been phenomenal at taking tower, big tower, but nothing surrounding it, and that needs to be the extension for DarkZero. You need more map control to lock down and choke out, to suffocate Empire.
Exactly, and the biggest thing is, I mean, big tower is free. Everyone can walk in there. You just open a door and walk in, you have control. Their issue right now is they can't battle for map control. It's punishing them. They had that initial round that they won where they got Dan out early, but the second time around, Dan able to come up massive, gets a couple of frags, able to really lock down Meeting Hall. Made it very, very hard for DarkZero. Now, difference on this side is, are they going to go for the 3-man repel once again? I surely hope not. Nyx, though, going to take down Scyther as he tries to get aggressive. He will meet his end. So they're definitely going to be worried about Joystick now downstairs in kitchen, because it looks like they want to go for this repel game all over again. They could reset Nyx, but it's not going to matter too much. Joystick, oh man, he's trying to find that long distance gunfight with Mint with the hollow sight. Not very favorable towards him, but we've seen crazier things happen in the past.
Oh, Nyx is going to walk right into the crossfires. Where's the call on DarkZero? That Joystick's inside a small tower. I guess anticipating the retreat down the hallway preemptively, and Joystick had yet to leave his perch on those small tower stairs. He's going to return, because why not? There's no one else to try and fight him off of that angle. He can make it up to that top of the small tower window as well, looking in towards big window, the site, and ADS will catch out the frag grenade. So BC, the frag master, will now have one in behind the mattress. Dan dropped to about 5 HP, escapes to safety in behind a reinforcement, but again, with these window repels, a Nitro comes soaring out. Joystick with 2, right up against the Claymore. He went for the vault out a small tower, still detected, but it's BC and Jarvis left alone. BC will finally collect the kill into a retreating Joystick, but they've lost so much manpower, they don't have a lot of time left. They need to convert to the site execute now.
Time is against them, and it's something you can never get back. It's the most valuable thing in life, and it's the most valuable thing in Siege. And they don't have very much of it left. 28 seconds. Second frag grenade going to go down for BC, as he is so well known for, but it's not going to do much. Dan, very low health. Karzeka and Shepard still both full. Those toxic babes continuing to reign, but Shepard will finally go down. It's all up to Karzeka and Dan. Jarvis with that frag, but Karzeka's going to get the refrag. Jarvis, it's a 1v1. It's 8 seconds, and Karzeka knows where he is. Jarvis has to win this out, and I don't think he's gonna get it. No! Looking the wrong way at the wrong time, and Empire's gonna find round number 3.
So once again, Empire, the aggression from Joystick standing above all. And that Nomad ban clearly favoring the maneuverability of the defense. It just wasn't their ban, which is the only difference on that round. So for this time around, we're going to be heading to a tower defense, because of course we've had back-to-back defensive stands that were successful for Empire on the 2 most favorable sites, so now we got to go somewhere a little wonky. For this one here, it's Joystick, again, the ability to jump out of the small tower, and I'm really puzzled. Again, was it an assumption by Nyx that the rotation had come out already from Joystick? He was shooting but wanted to retreat back to dining. Because that call should come out that he's in small tower. There should be more caution coming out from Nyx instead of just sprinting headstrong at the window.
What's the rule with calls? You know what the rule with calls is. It's either 100% or it's 0%. There's no 50-50. You can't go, oh, I still think he's there. It's either you know or you don't. And right there, ended up biting him. So we'll see if they can make any adjustments. But it's going to be one of our favorite sites. It's going to be Tower. If I could add any more sarcasm to that, I would. But I can't. So Tower going to be elected for the defense, and Joystick still going to be on Jaeger. So keep looking for those runouts, because he's going to keep doing them. For you people at home that obviously play this game, and I hope you do, you guys learned a new run out there on Small Tower that you don't see too often. Usually people just allocate towards the kitchen door. You can jump out that window on Small Tower, and you can do the exact same job without getting Claymore more than likely.
That was the most terrifying thing, is that he was standing on a Claymore. So DarkZero, again, anticipating the motion, anticipating the action from Joystick, and yet they still cannot lock him down. The lack of a Nomad at the disposal obviously helping with that. The ban coming out from their own bans. DarkZero, obviously, as indicated by the top of your screen, the team banning out Nomad. So it seems to be biting them a little bit in the back right now. They're attacking towards tower, and there's a lot of drone focus in towards showers, and I imagine this is, again, because of the presence of Joystick. His ominence across the map right now is just, it can't be understated right now. He's all the way upstairs inside a generator. He's prepped the window inside a gen to vault for a classroom rotate downstairs. He's got support as well with Karzeka upstairs on the Ella. And this is another thing that we noted pre-game before coming in, is that the Karzeka and Joystick duo has seemingly been forming again. For a long stretch of period there, or a long stretch of time, Karzeka and Joystick duo kind of separated a little bit. They went off and did their own little things on the attack and the defense, but we've seen a culmination of those two coming together again, and that's really where they stand at their best. But Nyx will start things off with fireworks on the G36 and remove Karzeka from kids.
It's been doing so good with that G36C. Again, since the R4C did lose its ACOG, you got to play that G36C to have access. But the other thing is you do get an angled grip, but you're going to need a life to use it. Joystick, once again, when this man finds his groove, he is so very dangerous. I mean, who can try and test up to this? BC is going to be the next one up to bat. They're trying to pinch him, but is it going to work out? They have Mint moving in from the other side, finally claiming his life, but there's so little time left on the clock, especially after that roam clear.
Look at the utility as well. This is a tower attack, guys, and you've used 2 asphyxiating bolts to remove the kids clear. Obviously, you need to clear kids so that they can't shoot you from the windows when you try to rappel up, and Dan on 5 HP, able to escape back up the armory stairs and remove BC. So there goes your flank hold. It's back, turning back around now for DarkZero. They have to stop in their tracks and repeat the same process they just went through with a fraction of the utility they had to start the round.
And Dan's just going to lay down on a mattress upstairs. He's like, you guys got to come get me. I'm not rotating. You have to come find me. Wasting even more time. Rotated all the way through the basement, up main stairs, finds another kill, and this is just not looking good for DarkZero at all. 28 seconds left on the clock, not very much execute utility, and guess what? There's still a smoke on the board.
No asphyxiating bolts. You still have a couple smoke bolts and a flank coming in from Jarvis now in through meeting split, but read beautifully by Scyther. Jarvis still collects the kill, but Dan on a trade will drop Houghton, and that's the man with the diffuser. Recovered now by Mint as he'll pick that up on the Capitao. A flank now from Dan inside of Attic. All it takes is one bullet to land, and Shepard pushing his way down the tower stairs. Pings come out onto one. He almost gets them both, but Jarvis will bring it out. And now Dan, the 5 HP Valkyrie, the man that went for the flank all along, comes back. And it's a beautiful lead now for Team Empire, the Russian machine, 3 rounds away.
I mean, Dan, newest member of Team Empire, and he's showing why they reign true. He's only been with this team, I've said it multiple times, for a month, and this man is already this confident with this roster. That's insanity.
The most troubling portion of that for me is DarkZero and their attacks. They are really starting to fall apart here. The segmentation as well. They continuously push. Whoa, what a shot by Jar.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they continuously push in one by one, and there goes that run out from Dan as well for the satellite window. Again, Jarvis is on one right now, but he needs the rest of the team to show up. Their push right now is so individual right now for DarkZero on their attacks. They're trying to clear one member at a time instead of trying to clamp down with multiple members. Even on that kids take, Nyx gets that first opening pick onto Karzeka into kids. That's your moment. You gotta go. But instead of going downstairs and possibly using that remote breaching charge on Ash to blow open the classroom floor, everyone's just pushing down the same hallway. There's a reinforce on the possible rotate. You got to push hallway at that point. Nobody goes highway window because you have to worry about tower. Nobody goes downstairs because Dan's roaming around down there. It's such an isolated take from DarkZero, always being pushed down one singular corridor. If you're trying to win 1v1s against Joystick, you're going to have a bad time.
You're going to have a bad time, and that's exactly what they've been trying to do. He's 8 kills, 4 assists. What does that tell you? That tells you he's having an immense amount of gunfights, and he's winning a lot of them. So, BC and the rest of DarkZero need to try and find an answer for this. Whether it's try and execute onto where he is, or just try and isolate him in general, you have to do a better job. You're giving him the 1v1s, and of all the people that's going to win their ones, it's going to be Joystick.
Well, we saw Montaigne banned on Bank. We now see a shield coming out on Oregon, but it's not the shield we all expected, as the Blitz has been banned out in a countermeasure on the side of Team Empire. So Mint will take what's available to him as a full shield Montaigne. Everything else staying the same. BC still on the sledge. We've seen a little bit of Zofia from him as well, but Nyx on the Ash will need to be the leading charge in this. Elamine will drop Mint out of his shield animation, and drop him down, making him susceptible to shots towards the feet. Karzeka, again, same spot as always, but Joystick's going to peel out. He's going to leave Karzeka alone. Oh, what a shot! The fadeaway by Karzeka, and Nyx will go down. There goes your Ash, and it's another beautiful start for Team Empire.
Well, there's a Kobe with a grenade. I guess we call that Jordan, because oh my God, what a shot from Karzeka. Nyx has been absolutely on fire with this Ash all day, but right now, falling short as he's gonna get absolutely removed. What a shot from Karzeka.
Pure desperation on the fadeaway fall, and yet it still lands beautifully onto the head. Nyx will go down. You've now got to refocus here, as there goes a lot of your pushing power. You've got a lot of utility stacked in the backside for DarkZero that is going to be crucial in a site execute. You don't have a Capitao, you don't have any smokes other than Mints on the shield, and he's again going to be crucial in pushing out the roam clear. So for this attack here for DarkZero, again, you've made it into one portion of the map, but you can't extend anywhere else, and you've lost a man on the roam clear. Meeting control still fully held by Empire with reinforcement. Scyther will take down another one as there goes Jarvis. Pushing in solo now is Mint. I don't think he knows that Scyther's in his corner, trying to bat away the shield, and there goes Mint, going for another one, but Houghton will shut him down. It's a 2v4 now to evade desperation and an absolute massive chasm between the two teams in the scoreboard. It's a 4-1 deficit, and now there goes Hot and Cold to be down. The diffuser lost, BC alone in a 1v4, unless he can finally make it back down to meeting split and revive his fallen teammate upstairs. There goes one. BC takes down Dan, but now the retreat from Karzeka. He's gonna have to pick up Hot and Cold. It's gonna be a 2v3 to round out the round.
And you have two of the most dangerous players on Empire still alive. Joystick and Karzeka are both still up, and Karzeka has that Scorpion. That Scorpion is so dangerous in those close range combatants. He's only got 30 bullets though. He's had so many gunfights this round. He doesn't even have a spare magazine. That's insanity. BC, though, going to be able to get up Hot and Cold. They have to try and find something, but it's like all on time. Karzeka, is he going to get the second kill? No, Shepard going to be able to claim that. It's Empire, 5-1 at the split, and they're just walking away with it.
Well, to start the day off between Norango and Fnatic, we had a 5-1 split. And then it was responded with another 5-1 split. Granted, it wasn't on Oregon, but nonetheless, it's kind of looking like we're going to need that here from DarkZero to keep this one even remotely interesting, as one more round will put us on match point and series point. Again, the amount of map control for DarkZero is significantly lacking. Their inability to push in through the map until the latter portions of the round, it's dire at this point.
Well, the issue is that Empire starts off with 1 to 2 roamers. And then everyone else just cycles on this vicious cycle of rotation. They go upstairs, they go back down. They go upstairs, they go back down. They go upstairs, and they go back down. Continuously. And they keep claiming kills every time they do it. Every single time. And the biggest issue with that is that they don't cut off their rotations. They just allow it to continue to happen. It's happened every round. And they finally bring out the Montang. We've barely seen him today. It's too little too late, guys. Too little too late. Why didn't they bring out the Montang initially? They knew that Joystick was going to be an absolute madman on this map, and they allowed him to do it.
Well, if you're a DarkZero fan back home, you're starting to get nervous, as again, you were within an inch of taking map number 1 on bank. Up 6-4 in regulation, and you allow Empire to storm back with 3 consecutive to eventually take it 8-7 into the overtime. Absolute max distance. It doesn't look like we're going to come even remotely close to a max distance or an overtime at all on Oregon, which is map number 2. Should we eventually have DarkZero come back in this match, we will head to Border, map number 3. Again, a map that would that's actually one split down pretty close to the middle between the two teams in terms of favoritism and recent results. DarkZero can't look ahead to that, though. They got to focus on this map single-mindedly, and they're going to be on the defense now. They need a 5-1 split, which is something that rarely ever happens on Oregon. The most common split for the first half on Oregon is 3-3.
Not looking good.
You allowed a tower defense to be successful. You couldn't execute upstairs at all in the attacks. It's been brutal for DarkZero on this first half of Oregon. They're going to have to replicate what Empire just did to them in probably one of the toughest circumstances just to keep this close.
My entire issue right now with DarkZero in general is the fact that you knew that the roam game was going to be heavy. You knew it from the first round. They've done it every single round, as we previously stated. But then you don't bring any utility to get rid of him. You don't bring a Jackal. You don't bring Montang until the last round. What's happening? BC, though, will claim alive. It's going to be Karzeka. No more Sledge, no more grenades. The Firebolts will come out, but he's going to be able to smoke Joystick off. Joystick will have to rotate back over to the other window. But BC will go down to the likes of Joystick's tactical crossbow.
Well, this attic wall is also soft, and it looks like this is Jarvis being droned out inside a small tower. Jarvis was on a camera, and he might try and go for a run out here similar to what Joystick pulled off. You got the Valkyrie camera outside. Two members searching frantically for that Valkyrie camera and the Valkyrie herself. Jarvis still stationed up inside a small tower, but this attic wall was soft and popped open now by Dan, who's picked up the breaching role. A little bit of a change there as far as role swaps. And peeking with a tiny angle is Hot and Cold. The Aldo remove the head for Scyther. And now there goes your Zofia and your most potent fragger in Season 9 for Team Empire.
If you're an Empire fan, you're going to want to see a rotation downstairs right now. They have to be worried about Mint, but they would also have to be worried about Nyx if he was still alive, but he's not, as Dan will find him, opening the door just a little bit wider here for Team Empire to take this round and go to map and match point. Both smokes coming out, which signals a swing, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Joystick's coming in, full bar, but Mint's going to find him from underneath. As they're trying to find him downstairs, Dan is at least. It's all up to Shepard and Dan here for Empire as Mint is completely abandoned ship, all except for the bottom of White Stairs where Dan will finally find him. He's been cooking up with gas this entire game so far.
He coming from Hot and Cold from inside a Kids towards the top of White Stairs. And there goes Dan. You got to recover the diffuser if you're Shepard. 15 seconds left. And Jarvis still in small tower. They have the Valkyrie cameras for the info, but you got to be worried about separation if Hot and Cold should fall on the objective. Pressed right up against the windowsill. Shepard with no time remaining will have to plant it to the overtime. The pre-fire from DarkZero will lock it out. And DarkZero staving off elimination moments longer.
DarkZero looking a lot better on that round. I feel like that the split, which allows you just a little bit more time to talk about things, really cooled them down, cool, calm, and collected going into that round and playing their game instead of letting Empire do what they wanted. BC actually getting very aggressive early is going to grant him an initial kill. I mean, he did die later, but he used up both asphyxiating bolts for Joystick. I mean, Joystick got a kill out of it, but he can't use those other places. He can't try and lock down the doors when he swings. And, I mean, at the end of the day, he ended up dying from downstairs. Again, no respect for the kitchen. We've had that a couple of times so far. Empire not respecting it, and neither was DarkZero. So we'll see if next time they go there, Empire will respect somebody playing downstairs.
So we head into a, appears, yes, it is attack timeout now for DarkZero as they try and regain their bearings here on Oregon. Things have not gone as swimmingly as they did on Bank, as that was a much closer contest, but it's a 5-1 split at the half in favor of the Russian machine team Empire, and now they have to work themselves out of a hole. They've done one round of this gargantuan chasm that stands between them and drawing even. They're currently at a 5-2 deficit, and they'll be heading downstairs in the defense most obviously, as they just want a top 4 defense. Don't have to really worry about site rotation being a little wonky, kind of like it was on Bank, where you had to guess if it would be Teller's Archives or if it would be CEO. In this exact instance, almost everyone rocking the exact same operator as last round. The only difference will be, it appears to be Mint on a Legion instead of a Pulse. And downstairs, this is again going to have to be a scenario in which DarkZero kind of mimic what they were seeing from Empire in that meeting control, having that map control, stalling out what's coming from Empire, because they are quite brazen and they're quite efficient on their attacks.
Empire are going to be switching out for the Dokkaebi. I know you guys can't see that yet, but Dokkaebi going to be allocated towards Team Empire in place of Zofia. Scyther going to be piloting Doke through this map here, but more site execution is exactly what that grants. We have so much utility to try and just keep everyone staved off from stopping this plant. We've got Joystick on the Capital. We've got Scyther on the Dokkaebi. Those phone calls so very dangerous. It's actually going to be ringing Hot and Cold's phone as well, so won't have control to his evil eyes for at least 11 seconds. Other than that, he can't answer his phone, but we'll have to see if he will do such a thing. Downstairs site allocated for DarkZero once again, and Mint going to be donning the mantle of smoke this time around. No more pulse for him.
So downstairs in the defense, we've also got a lot of investment. What in the hell is going on here? So we got some barbed wire.
I think that's the best way to put that.
And Scyther sending straight in. It looked like he was going to try and contest this, and Mint is going to be hard held inside of blue, inside of the construction tunnel. We also got Nyx supporting from red. A good read so far. If Empire were even remotely considering heading in through a construction rush here to try and put another nail in this coffin that has been assembled so far for Team Empire, awaiting the entrance of DarkZero into their final resting place. But right now it's a double stead hold inside of red and blue just for Mint and Nyx. The drones will come in. There's a lot of utility placed as well. 2 pieces of barbed wire, an ADS. There's a lot of investment in the hold here. It doesn't look like Empire even remotely want to toy with this momentarily, but they are going for a full tower take nonetheless.
I mean, is BC just Professor X? Can he read minds? Because initial setup, everyone spawns Junkyard and they go, oh, everyone's in construction. We don't really know what to do. And they've been stalled out ever since. They have big tower control, but they're still going to push their way into construction. Again, this is how Empire plays this game. Oh, did you try and counter-strat us? Fantastic. We're going to go at it anyways.
Yeah, they're going to push headstrong in, as is their nature. And Scyther looks like he's going to finally try and engage with this. Got the SMG-12 out in hands, as opposed to the CZ-75, which has been the more predominantly picked secondary weapon on a Dokkaebi or a Vigil as of late. You can see an EMP come out as all of our lights go down. Joystick still holding down from the back of the tower stairs here as BC was applying pressure from meeting, but it looks like BC has torn off to other engagements now as he's actually made it all the way downstairs into the site, into supply room, challenging the door as well. A Toxic Babe comes out from Mint as well to continue to prolong the engagement between Scyther and Mint. It's a bit of a cold war as no shots have even been remotely close to exchanging, and yet the utility utilized here is going to continue to suppress Scyther's ability to press in. This is a massive pivot point for DarkZero to continue to hold, and Team Empire, at this point, unable to find a counter.
Gonna need a lot of help, but as they're just continuing to hold down these angles. Mint still fighting for his life inside of construction. Nyx and Harry Potter, and he's gonna finally claim a life. Joystick will be the first one to fall, and Scyther's still playing the waiting game as all of these Toxic Babes have finally been expended, but so have his logic bombs. He's been standing here the entire time. 2 phone calls go out, no deaths happen on the side of DarkZero. Scyther's gonna try and get aggressive with that ACOG over here on the MK14. Actually, he's going to establish an angle, just wait for the rotation. Swapping over, might get aggressive, but we see some bodies moving upstairs. Nyx, Mint, both tacking on. It's all left up to Shepard as he's gonna fall. Karzeka, the last one alive. He's standing in meeting with only 16 seconds left. It's not looking too good for him as every single man on DarkZero stands in his path.
The diffuser is lost. He's inside a meeting, toiling above the hallway hatch, and looks like he'll just drop down to his ultimate demise here. BC will cut him down from inside a supply room. DarkZero piece 2 in a row. The deficit has now cut in half.
A long road still to go. And I think the biggest thing to touch on with a 5-3 scoreline is you still only get 1 free mistake. 1 free mistake, that's all you can make. After that, you have to win every single round to come back. If you are a DarkZero fan, you want to see them continue to run on this path, because if they can continue to link these rounds together, you could see them win this 7-5.
It's doable. The most likely outcome will be a reciprocal 5-1 split, and then we'll head to overtime on Oregon again. We're going to a tower defense, as again, we saw top 4 defense successful. We saw bottom 4 defense successful consecutively. You know what that means. We got to go somewhere wonky. We're going to tower on the defense here for Oregon for DarkZero. Try and keep themselves alive. Should they drop to a 6-3 deficit with match point and series point looming over their heads, it could be nearly insurmountable. And we talk about the pressure, we talk about the mental condition, we talk about the preparation and the LAN experience for both of these teams. Clearly the advantage on the side of Empire. So if you get within that stranglehold position, if you're Team Empire, you're not gonna shake. We saw that a little bit on Bank when DarkZero went up 6-4. They were ready to lock it out. They were ready to put a nail in it and take map 1. Be that upset, be that underdog story, the Cinderella story, and yet they faltered. And Empire took advantage. That's not gonna happen if you're Team Empire. You get to that 6-3 mark, count the game done.
I definitely agree with that one, but the entire map more or less hangs in the balance of this round. Can they win a tower defense? Because once again, if they lose this round, it's map and match point for Empire, and Empire is not a team to mess up too often. So if they can win this, this is going to put DarkZero in a very good spot.
The good news is as well, if DarkZero can come away with this round, they're only down 1 round, and they get to go back to the rotation that is common, which is you go back upstairs and then you head back downstairs. Like you said, there's a possibility that DarkZero could run the table and go for a 6-0 in the defensive half and really storm away with this on a 7-5. Most likely outcome, if DarkZero are able to win this specific round, would be a 6-6 and we head into overtime. So I don't think we're going to see a 6-0 run on Oregon defense.
No, it would definitely be a sight to be seen, but you can already tell the playstyle difference here for DarkZero and Team Empire on the defense. DarkZero especially just allowing Team Empire to twist in the wind. They don't really want to take the gunfights. They want to play their time, play their utility, and lean heavily on that. Whereas Empire, so heavy on frags. And speaking of frags, Skarzeka's going to find one. BC with the trade. Shepard's going to hop in as well. Is complete turmoil here on big towers. There's bodies just absolutely everywhere. Trying to claim another. It's going to be Joystick. Hot and cold goes down. And once again, they don't mess up too often.
So you've got fire coming in from the top of the armory stairs, leaving Jarvis alone on the objective. This is a perilous situation as being constantly pinged out, as that's Mint trying to fire in. The man downstairs is Jarvis. Mint will fall. It's a 1v4 before the Valkyrie. Nitrous Hawk comes soaring out and gets shot out of midair, and Joystick will put us on elimination point.
I was just about to talk about how Joystick has not shown up on the second half. He's found one kill, but he's going to turn it around on the tower take. Finding 3 frags, raining hell fire from above with that M249. And that is what that gun is so very dangerous with. The reason they built Ella in the first place was she had a lot of bullets inside of a magazine so she could take multiple gunfights. Guess what an LMG has? A lot of bullets.
Excellent super sleuthing there, Stokes.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I said if it was 6-3, count the game over. I kind of want to take that statement back because I don't want the game to be over, but...
You want me to take your tie? I can take it. It's fine. It's okay.
We go back upstairs. I don't imagine this game is going to end anytime soon, as we have DarkZero now with the favorability of the objectives to defend. They get to defend top floor. They get to go back downstairs. If they win both of those, that would put it to a 6-5. You got to go back to tower or you got to go to kitchen. Again, that is the problem with Oregon. That's the cycle of Oregon. That's the nature of Oregon.
It's the circle of life.
Empire was able to put up the numbers in surprising fashion, really, at the behest of DarkZero's mistakes. This time around, it doesn't look like Empire are going to make those same mistakes on the off-sites, and no, Jarvis is going to take almost 40 HP worth of damage in prep phase through a shotgun, through the floor, making a kill hole.
Oh, BC.
I think I've said it about 1,000,000 times now, but the LAN experience, the preparation, the fact that Empire have been here so many times together as a team versus separated instances for DarkZero, it's clearly a factor. It's a mental factor that you have to take into consideration when scoring this game.
Yeah, guys, obviously you guys can't hear our voices being pumped through this stadium, but there is a lot of people here. This place is massive. Volume is loud, and trust me, Flynn and I actually played a little bit on the stage yesterday. Every single bullet that you fire shakes the entire stage. That is how real it feels. So you have to be thinking exactly how these guys are feeling in this current state, because I can tell you right now, Empire's not shaking. Specifically Dan, that was the big factor coming into this. Can Dan perform on LAN? And he's doing it so well so far.
That was the big question mark. That was the roster move heading in, you know. Empire were looking so incredibly dominant in the regular season, going undefeated until week 11. And then as well, why make a change, right? You finish second in the world, if we want to go by the World Championship metric of the 6 Invitational, just behind G2, a team that has dominated the scene for years now. And yet, they make a change. So Dan was the question mark, and yet he has definitely been a performer so far in these 2 maps. Empire looking to close things out. We go for, again, a Kids Windows take here for Team Empire. Lots of drones come in to try and isolate members of DarkZero, and they've completely evacuated Kids, except for BC, continues to dart back and forth on this rotate behind the reinforcements. Last time around, it was BC getting extremely aggressive, and there he goes again. In behind a dresser will remove Joystick from play. A beautiful shot there. Another drone coming out, and this might be BC going for a run. Nah, he just makes it back inside the windows because he knows it's the Capitao taking out a play.
I thought he was going to hop, but it was so very close. When someone makes a dashing run towards a window, what else can you expect? Frag grenade going to come out, almost claims BC's life, but it's almost like time's on his side as Nyx will rotate outside, but Dan's going to knife him. Where'd he come from? Assassin's Creed, Scyther going to take out Hot and Cold with a headshot. It's 3v3, but still plenty of rounds that DarkZero needs as Jarvis is going to get shot down, but he's going to claim the life of Scyther as everything is falling apart on both sides here in round number 10. Math.
It's a 2v3 now for Shepard and Dan to work out. If Diffuser in control of Shepard now, he's up on top of the small tower roof waiting to peer into the objective. You still got Jarvis out inside a small tower, waiting for the run. BC on low HP as well, pressed up against the kids' windows. Dan making his way downstairs to clear out any remaining members that would have been inside a kitchen. That would have been Mint, but he's already made the rotation. Swift identification that he needs to head towards the top of Armory Stairs to prevent a vault in through the highway window where Shepard angles into just now. Still trying to clear out downstairs as Dan, as Shepard angles in through the highway window, but looking the wrong direction. Dan pressing his way up the white stairs through the sea of barbed wire, angles in towards kids, but cannot find a target. In behind the bomb chassis now is BC. He gets down to a 2v2, 9 seconds left, and another one for Shepard on 5 HP. Rushing through, it's just Jarvis left alive on DarkZero, and at the top of white stairs, Empire, the dying moments, the last second clutch. DarkZero eliminated from Milan.
Oh my God, what else did you expect from this Team Empire roster? It looked like we were going to yet another round on Oregon, but it's not gonna happen. Empire winning Oregon, winning BC, and winning their quarterfinals matchup.
Well, I was the lone man. I was proven the lone man to be wrong. It's Empire returning to the semifinals. Will they be able to make a return to the grand finals in their next premier event, which is obviously the Season 9 finals here? The previous one being the 6 Invitational 2019, where they made it to the grand finals against G2. In this game against DarkZero, honestly, the battle back and forth on Bank, that was tremendous. Almost impossible to really describe how narrowly close that moment was at the end of Bank. And the moment where DarkZero almost had that. They almost took map number 1. We head to map number 2, and it doesn't look close. It looks like Empire, obviously an aggressive team, a notorious team for being fluid and for being an aggressive team that will take a fight to you, took the fight to DarkZero, and they did not have a response on their attacking side. On the defensive side, it was a valiant attempt. It was just too big of a chasm to try and overcome for the side of the North American squad. And that's the second seed from North America, still eliminated from play. Sorry, we still have Evil Geniuses, though, the number 1 seed from North America, which will be our 4th game today against Immortals.
You do have to give credit where credit is due, though. DZ, no one thought they were going to do this well, except for you. Except for you. That first map, 8-7. Went the entire distance, but just could not find it on Oregon. Again, I feel like they just adapted too late. That Montang pick could have helped them out a lot earlier, but taken in the last round, I mean, guys, come on.
Well, that's going to do it for us in game number 2. We're halfway down the day to throw to an interview with Karzeka and Matt on the stage. Have at her, boys.
Starks Flynn, thank you very much. I have Karzeka, I have semi-finalists. They're the European Team Empire. Karzeka, congratulations. First map, another big overtime here in Milan, and you were telling me just this moment, just before we came on camera now, you were actually thinking that was probably going to go to 3.
Yeah, we actually were ready for 3 maps because we know that Bank was their strongest map, and we are like kind of decent on Bank, so we mentally were prepared for 3 maps, and it was okay for us if we will lose first map, so we were ready to win the other 2 maps.
And we know Team Empire, you've said before, as a team in the past, you don't really counter-strat opponents. You want to turn up and play your game. But it did seem like you'd done some prep work for DarkZero, particularly with that Blitz ban. That seemed targeted.
Yeah, I mean, we actually haven't watched a lot of VODs. We just saw that from the Pro League play days that all the NA teams banning Blitz and Montaigne on Bank versus them. And we just like, okay, we don't like to play versus Shield, so we're just going to ban Blitz and Montaigne, and just that's all.
You make this sound very casual, Karzeka. Talk to me about Dan. He joined, I think, a month ago today, 30 days ago. Today, he seems to have fitted in like he's been with you all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's performance was like absolutely crazy. It's his first LAN event. It's his first like serious game, and he just unleashed all his power and showed that he's like decent. That we picked him up.
And one more question for you. Last time we saw you, of course, 6 Invitational, World Championships, monster game against G2. How did you feel coming to this final, thinking, oh, we were so close to grabbing one last time?
I mean, we will be happy if we win this tournament, but to be the best, you need to beat the best, but the best team is not here, so that's kind of 50-50.
Well, we'll take it one step at a time and see who is the best team here. Team Empire go to the semi-finals.